Time to review Ratchet and Clank 3 Up Your Arsenals. Oh baby, Ratchet and Clank 3 Up Your Arsenals. Ratchet and Clank 3 Up Your Arsenals is the sequel to Ratchet and Clank 2 Going Commando. Insomniac, before this game was released, announced that they really want to focus more on the weapons. Insomniac did not want to be like every other Ratchet and Clank with the platformers. Like they said, we're not going to really, you know, leave our old roots. We're just kind of exploring something new because, a lot of things talked about in the Ratchet and Clank world. It's not the platforming, the world exploring in this game. A lot of people like to talk about the weapons in this game. They think the weapons are the very cool part of Ratchet and Clank 3. They Ratchet and Clank 2. They love the weapons in Ratchet and Clank 2. Hell, even in Ratchet and Clank 1 to some degree. There's always been Ratchet and Clank has been known as a fun arcadey shooter more than a good platformer. For me personally, I think Ratchet and Clank does a good job as an arcadey shooter and a good platformer. But the problem is a lot of people care more about the weapons. So in this game, they really try to up your arsenals by giving you different types of weapons, a lot more weapons than usual. The weapons now upgrade to V5, but this is my problem with the weapons in this game. If any of y'all play Ratchet and Clank 3, you know by the time near the end of the game, most of these weapons become fucking useless. And I'm not exaggerating that, I'm not lying about that. Most of these weapons become fucking useless. These weapons are not useful whatsoever, even at V5. And that's one thing that bugs the shit out of me. I mean, in Ratchet and Clank 2, I could be using the Heavy Lancer still against the final boss and it would do some damage. I can't use my fucking Blitz shotgun that I get in this game because it sucks when it comes down to it. The weapons in this game, they are not consistent. I mean, pretty much, you're going to be wasting your bolts more on buying weapons than actually doing other shit in this game for wasting bolts. I mean, there's a lot of cool side stuff that you can get from collecting, like, from the bolts, but most of the time you want to get the best weapons available. So most of the times, if you're playing this game, I say this: choose your weapons wisely. Don't get every weapon in this game, because most of the time you don't need every weapon. You could use probably 2 weapons up to a certain point in the game, then you have to buy the next best weapon available. Always look for power in this game, because really that's what Insomniac's trying to tell you. And that makes me mad, because really it's like, come on. You can't just, have the weapons be consistent. Now, Insomniac, they didn't lose all roots. Ratchet and Clank was still 3 was still a fun platformer. There was a lot to explore in the world, especially Quark's Island or Quark's home, the ice planet later on. There's like a little hidden secret place there. But the one thing about Ratchet and Clank 3 that I thought was a step down from Ratchet and Clank 2 was that they got rid of the space battles. Now, Ratchet and Clank 3 is always ranked higher than Ratchet and Clank 2. A lot of people love Ratchet and Clank 3 and overrate it more than Ratchet and Clank 2. I personally like Ratchet and Clank 3 more than Ratchet and Clank 2 by a smudge. Ratchet and Clank 3, they do bring back the arena, but the arena is kind of boring. Not only that, they got rid of like hover bike racing and a lot of other side content, but they do have core bid comics, which I think they should just make a downloadable content game for $6. I'm pretty sure people would buy that, especially if you got like 15 levels out of it. That would be fucking sick as hell. Those games were fun. But not only that, they gave us these side missions with these retarded robots that really do jack shit. They just go, "Hey chief, what are you doing? Here, help us." And it's like, dude, can you guys do fucking anything? No, we're fucking useless. Can you kill that enemy? No, you do it. Dude, I'm getting shot over here. You got him, chief. It's like, god damn, these guys are fucking stupid. And it's so dumb that you have to deal with them. But although Ratchet and Clank 3 got rid of space battles and you can pimp your ship even though there's no point in doing so, it's just to look good in cinematics, what they did add was pretty damn good to make up for it, which is a memorable villain in Dr. Nefarious. Dr. Nefarious is probably a favorite from Ratchet and Clank fans. He's a fun villain. And the thing is about this villain, unlike most Ratchet and Clank villains where they're just like, oh yeah, I'm just doing this because I fucking want to, he has a purpose. He actually wants to destroy the squishies, like people with organs. He wants to destroy everything with organs because he has been tortured and terrorized by everyone with organs. He only wants robots to rule this world. He is tired of the squishies. And that gives him a big purpose. He wants to get rid of everything that is wrong in this world. And that's what I like. I really do like that there's a villain with a purpose. Like most villains in Ratchet and Clank, he is comedic to some points, but you know, he's a very good villain, and I really do like it. His final boss fight is hard as hell, and is very fun. I really do like this villain for Ratchet and Clank 3. But the one thing Ratchet and Clank 3 added, and many people do not know this nowadays, but PS2 did have online. If you guys did not know that, you guys are smoking something. But PS2 did have online. And Ratchet and Clank 3 Online, oh, I loved Ratchet and Clank 3 Online. You do not understand how much I love Ratchet and Clank 3 Online. And you bet when the HD collection comes out, I'll be playing online for Ratchet and Clank 3. But the online for Ratchet and Clank 3 was very cool. You can't really talk about Ratchet and Clank 3 without mentioning the online. But overall, Ratchet and Clank 3, they got rid of some stuff that its predecessor did have. What I don't like is that the weapons are pretty much useless most of the time. There's only like 4 weapons you will probably use near the end of the game because all the other weapons are just there for no reason. They take up space, they take up bolts that you need to use to buy armor and whatnot. But overall, Ratchet and Clank 3 is not a bad game. It's just a smudge better than Going Commando. And the only thing is, I know a lot of people said, "Well, you gave Going Commando a B plus. Why are you giving this game a B plus?" Because I'm giving Up Your Arsenals a B plus. Just because it's only a smudge bit better. Just because it's a smudge bit better does not mean it's an A minus. A smudge bit better is just like at the same level. I like it a smudge bit better than Going Commando. I can play those two games fine, but it gets a B plus because it's only, like I said, a smudge bit better. So pretty much that's all I gotta say there. Thank you all for watching. If you guys like this review for Ratchet and Clank 3, comment down below. Subscribe up above. Check out my video. This is my video game channel. My sports channel, ChaseOver68, and oh boy, we get to talk about Deadlock next. Yay.